Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. The message buzzed on her phone while she was in the shower. I wasn't snooping. I swear I wasn't. Her phone was face up on the counter because she'd asked me to keep an eye on a recipe she'd pulled up earlier. The screen lit up the way it always did, soft chime, short vibration. I glanced without thinking. Ethan, I miss you. This whole pretending thing is killing me. I stared at the screen longer than I should have. Long enough for the words to burn themselves into my eyes. Long enough for my chest to tighten in a way I didn't recognize at first. Pretending. I locked the phone and stepped back like it had shocked me. When she came out of the bathroom, towel around her hair, humming some half-remembered tune, I was still standing there, hands slightly trembling, trying to decide if I'd imagined what I saw. Everything okay? She asked, smiling. That familiar smile. The one that used to calm me down. Yeah, I said too quickly. Recipe's fine. That was the first lie of the night. Not hers. Mine. We'd been married 6 years. Not perfect years but real ones. Shared grocery lists. Inside jokes. Lazy Sundays. Arguments about money that always ended in apologies and quiet forgiveness. I believed we were solid. Maybe not exciting but safe. Built. Over the next few weeks, that sense of safety started to crack in tiny, almost invisible ways. She began taking calls in the other room, turning her phone face down at dinner, smiling at texts she didn't explain. When I asked how her day was, her answers grew shorter, vaguer. Busy. Same old. She stopped asking about mine. I told myself I was being paranoid. That everyone goes through phases. That trust means not interrogating the person you love over every small change. Still, I noticed everything. The missed calls she didn't return until late. The sudden interest in her appearance. New clothes, different perfume. The way she'd drift mentally during conversations. Eyes unfocused, like she was somewhere else entirely. One night, I reached for her hand on the couch and she flinched. Just slightly. Like she hadn't expected my touch. I'm tired, she said, pulling away. Can we just watch the show? I nodded, but my stomach sank. Ethan was her ex. I knew that much. College boyfriend. First love. The one she described years ago with a strange mix of nostalgia and dismissal. We were young. It didn't work. We wanted different things. I hadn't thought about him in years. Until his name started appearing on her phone more often than felt accidental. I didn't confront her right away. I needed to be sure. I needed to know whether I was about to destroy something real over a misunderstanding, or whether it was already being destroyed without me. The confirmation came on a Tuesday afternoon, by accident and cowardice all at once. Her laptop was open on the kitchen table. She'd asked me to send an email from it while she ran an errand. When I opened the browser, her messages were already there. Logged in. Unhidden. I told myself I'd close it, that I didn't want to be that guy. Instead I read. Not everything. Just enough. I think about you more than I should. Being with him feels safe. But it's not you. Sometimes I wonder if we made a mistake. I sat down slowly like my legs had forgotten how to work. My heart wasn't racing. It was heavy. Sinking. She wasn't just talking to him. She was choosing between us. That night she suggested dinner out. Her idea. A small Italian place we used to love. Candle on the table. Soft music. Normal, almost painfully normal. We ordered. Talked about nothing. Weather. Work. The pasta was undersalted. I tasted nothing. Halfway through the meal, she put her fork down and looked at me in a way I'd never seen before. Calm, resolved, almost detached. My ex wants me back, she said. The words landed softly. No drama. No build-up. I waited for the rest. For the reassurance. For the laugh that said, "Can you believe that?" Instead, she took a breath and continued. He says he's changed. That he never stopped loving me. I nodded slowly, my ears ringing. Then she said it. Give me one reason to stay. For a second I thought I'd misheard her. That my brain was protecting me from the full meaning of the sentence. But she held my gaze. Waiting. I looked at her. The woman I'd built a life with, who knew how I took my coffee, who'd cried with me when my father died, who'd once told me I was her home. And she was asking me to compete. My first emotion wasn't anger. It was grief. I didn't know I was auditioning, I said quietly. She flinched. Guilt flickered across her face. That's not fair. Neither is this, I replied. She started talking then. About feeling lost. About routine. About how Ethan made her feel seen again. About how nothing had happened, not physically, but emotionally she'd already drifted. I listened. Every word hurt, but I listened. When she finished, the table between us felt like a mile. You want a reason? I asked. She nodded, eyes wet. I love you, I said. I've chosen you every day, even when it wasn't exciting, even when it was hard. I thought that was enough. Silence. She looked down at her hands. I don't know if it is. That was the moment something in me broke, and something else stood up in its place. I realized I didn't want to convince someone to stay married to me. We drove home separately. She needed space. Or maybe I did. That night, I lay awake replaying everything. Our wedding vows. Our fights. The signs I'd ignored. The way love can fade not with a bang, but with quiet permission. In the morning she told me she needed time to think. I told her I'd already thought enough. I won't be a backup plan, I said. My voice shook, but I didn't stop. If you're asking for reasons to stay, you've already left. She cried. Apologized. Said she was confused. I believed her. And I still walked away. It's been months now. The apartment is quieter. Lonelier. But it's honest. Sometimes I miss her. Sometimes I remember the good and have to sit with the ache until it passes. Healing isn't linear. Strength doesn't feel heroic. Feels like getting up anyway. I learned something painful but necessary. Love that has to beg isn't love, it's fear. And I deserve more than being someone's option. So does anyone listening to this?